Hello fellow knights, Finn here and welcome back to DDLC Plus for some more side stories goodness. And just for the fun of it, before we begin, I changed the background from the balanced side story. If you haven't checked that one out, I highly recommend checking out in the annotation right here, and as well as the playlist, so you can watch the whole thing once this series is completed. But speaking of the series and side stories and all, we're not going to talk about the background, of course. We are talking about the two remaining side stories that I'm almost close to finish. So now we're moving on to Reflection featuring Yuri and Monica. If you're enjoying this so far, I highly recommend leaving a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It will help me a huge bunch and a lot to make content like this. And also, prior to this recording, I'm recording this very early right now. As to why I'm wearing the same shirt is because, of course, I'll be busy tomorrow and, well, for the next week because school starts. So whoop-de-doo, back for some more pain. And hahaha, you know how much I do not like that at all. I'll be uploading videos weekly when I have the time. So with this one, since it's going to be a weekly upload and such after the daily ones, but again, internet problems here and there. So with that out of the way, you guys know the drill. And what time is it? It's Doki Doki time. Oh, again with my favorite background music. Okay. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or anyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookie. What a waste. They really became good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had any chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Although that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a tidbit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh. But I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even like romance? Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do too. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like... Yeah. Please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it's just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch. Aw, dang, Yuri, sick burn. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. You just did. You just literally did. You already burned her. Well, that's okay. Just apply cold water to the burned area. Well, I guess it's my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past, too. You know, things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Well, kinda reminds me as to, well, I am not gonna grow out of this, and you guys as well, because I'm going to do this, like, for years and such. Even if I get married, yes, I'm still gonna make videos because it's still part of my adventure. For me, and for you guys. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying because of course, that's what life is. Hey, were you talking about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. Or maybe secretly is because she became a weeb afterwards when she read her first manga. Don't deny it, Natsuki, we've all been there. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monica. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so... It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know it. Well, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing an imaginary stack. Well, if you put it that way, if you stack a lot of books together, you could make a tower, like a very high tower that would just, you know, touch the atmosphere, or, you know, into space, or even beyond the black hole or the Milky Way. I don't know. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so I can say I've read more than you. Not that I have money for that. Mood. Please, that would hardly count if when your books have only a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. Oh no, you did not just say that in front of Yuri. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted. Sayori, are those from the floor? Gross. What? Sayori, don't eat those. That's disgusting. My sword's over there. Oh well. I guess I have to put it right next to me. And no, I am not threatening Sayori or anyone who is, you know, eating food from the floor. But really now, eating food from the floor? That is just disgusting. You're gonna get the Kovi-Wovi if you do. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. That's Kovi-Wovi, safety from Natsuki. Good work. But my hands are dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Sayori trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in the literature club, so I should figure out how to mediate discussions to make them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about it and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary, I just wish to be respected. That then. Either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki though. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Skeptical. Okay, everyone. Oh! Sounds good. This background music, I like it. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if I came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences in opinion a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks? Or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh jeez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy, cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know, sad? Defensive maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But it's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you said it was just only your opinion? It has to do with the very way our brains interpret the words. Yeah, that doesn't sound so familiar, isn't it? You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like, Sayori, let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. So, what if instead of that, I said, like, I tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I've just talked about my feelings and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not gonna quiz you or anything. I know that. I was just... Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours and how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience, rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Whatever you say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You're welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Mine your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You are certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. That was... I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. Now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not. No. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little bit more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monoko recalls, being respected is the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like... It's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy to whatever it is you like. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Sorry, I clicked too fast. Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes in you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy. I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it's just going to make people upset. Not upset! Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making up assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What? Have you looked in the mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all my interest immature. You can't... Please, stop! Oh no. Oh no. The bun is crying. Please don't. Want some tissues? Here, take them. Take all of them, I guess. But not all of them, just take some of it. Please? You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words sent the clubroom into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crud! I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying, I mean, actually, Yuri was right all along. You were making assumptions, and now... you pissed her off. Apologize immediately. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I should have tried to moderate the conflict when I know how bad I'm dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on people, on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things, it's about recognizing and understanding our differences. Yep, that doesn't sound so familiar at all. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you're trying to do, but I really think that the problem here is her, not just the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out, because I can just move on now. But, it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want. Just don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know what we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri will always Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceeds to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Well, I guess that's how Natsuki and Yuri first fought, but it's really interesting. I mean, don't call out others being immature for what they like. I mean, take me for an example. I mean, I collect merch, anime, all that jazz. Would you call me immature for that? Sure, you have your own views and point of view on it and opinions on it as well. But, I don't know. Well, if you think of it's immature, just please keep it to yourself and do not say it in front of anyone's face. In my face. In everyone's face. Just don't do that. It'll hurt them for sure. And, well, in other words, just do not call out someone for the things they like. in front of their face. Guess that's how it goes, really, when we grow up and such, but I don't know, but it won't stop me anyway because I enjoy the things that I'm doing, like making videos for you guys and such. So I guess that's it for this side story, and likewise, again, pre-recorded thing early because again I'll be busy tomorrow and next week, so there you go. So if you want to get this game for yourself, link in the description below. And yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. Finn the Dying Knight signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay awesome and have fun, fellow knights.